Hello, this is Cristina Silva with eXp Realty. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today. Today we're going to talk about the cost of living in San Antonio, Texas. So let's go. So first of all, what is cost of living? The cost of living is defined as the amount of money needed to cover basic expenses such as housing, food, taxes in a certain place in a certain time period. So we're really going to focus on the expenses that are related to housing. That would be the cost of the house, utilities, and taxes. So housing prices have gone up a lot in the last couple of years, which I think most of the country has seen. So let's really break down what that means for San Antonio. So here we have two graphics that show the differences between September 2021 and September 22. So in September 2021, the average sales price was $366,903. There were 644 homes sold, and then the median sales price was $305,000. Let's compare that to 2022. In September of 2022, the average sales price was $415,811. There were 635 homes sold, which is about the same as 2021, and the median sales price was $340,000. That may seem like a pretty big difference, $340,000 versus $305,000 the year prior. Let's break that down and see what it comes out to in terms of your monthly payments. So a $340,000 home in San Antonio right now in September of 2022 could probably get you about a 2,000 square foot house in a pretty good part of town. That would be about a 4-bed, 2-bath. That's what I live in right now. My house is 1,800 square feet. It was a lot less than $340,000 when I bought it, but right now it's worth about $315,000, $320,000. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's start with 20% down, which would equal $68,000, and a 6% interest rate. Interest rates fluctuate all the time. If you've been looking into buying a house lately, you definitely know how much this can fluctuate. For today's numbers, I'm going to be using 6% because that's pretty average right now in September 2022. So with 20% down and a 6% interest rate, you're looking at a $2,500 monthly mortgage payment for that $340,000 house. If you only put down 5%, which is $17,000, and you still have that 6% interest rate, we're looking at a $3,000 monthly payment for your house. Now that includes taxes, principal, interest, and usually insurance as well. Make sure you talk to a qualified lender to find out what your payments would look like in your certain situations. So like I said, I was calculating taxes into these mortgage estimates. Texas has higher property taxes than most other states, and this is because we have no state income tax. So while that sounds really nice, wow, no state income tax, again, it's kind of made up for in these higher property taxes and some other taxes that we pay. Property taxes in San Antonio can range from about 2% to 2.5%, depending on what part of the city you're in. And that's because San Antonio has a lot of smaller cities within it, which I cover in my other video, Where to Live in San Antonio, Texas. So some of those smaller cities are Chavano Park, Helotes, Leon Valley, and they can all have different property tax rates than the rest of the city. So let's go ahead and look back at our $340,000 house with these different tax rates of 2% for the overall city, 2.27% for Helotes, and 2.5% for Chavano Park. Now remember, these tax numbers are yearly, so you would divide them by 12 to find out how it could change your monthly payment. So for 2% on a $340,000 house, you're looking at $6,800 a year. For Helotes, 2.27%, $7,700. And for Chavano Park, 2.5%, $8,500 a year. So that's less than $2,000 difference a year between the general city and Chavano Park, even though it's a whole 0.5% of difference. So again, those property taxes, although they vary throughout the city, might not make a huge impact on your monthly payment. The other tax in Texas is the overall sales tax, which is 8.25%, meaning if you see something in the store for $9.99, you're gonna go to the register and pay $10.81. Or if you buy something for $99.99, you're gonna go to the register and pay $108. Next up, let's get into utilities. We'll start with the electric company. We have CPS Energy, and that's not to be confused with CPS, Child Protective Services. So CPS right now, the average price is 14 cents per kilowatt hour. Again, I'm gonna go back to my own experience in an 1,800 square foot house. My house is about 15 years old, so it's not super energy efficient. I like to keep it in the low 70s in the hottest months, and I use about 1,800 to 2,000 kilowatt hours. And my bills are usually about $230 a month in the hottest months of the year. Now in the winter, I use less than 1,000 kilowatt hours because I don't keep the heat much higher than 65, 66, and those bills are closer to $80 a month. Newer houses are way more energy efficient, and you could also keep your home higher temperature and still be comfortable. So for instance, I have a colleague whose home is brand new, also 1,800 square feet. He keeps his home in the mid to upper 70s, and his CPS bill has been closer to $100 even in these hotter months. The other utility bill you'll be looking at is SAWS, the San Antonio Water System. I was taking a look at my own water usage to research for this video, and I found out that my water usage is less than my neighborhood average, probably because I'm really bad at watering my lawn, but my water bill is usually only about $45 a month. I was playing with the numbers and pulling other people's bills, and I'd say $80 a month also is pretty common. So really anything less than $100 a month is a safe bet. On average, of course, it depends on if you have gas or electric heating, or how you like to keep your thermostat, or how energy efficient your home is. But I would guess that you'd be spending about $150 to $300 a month on utilities. Now, of course, if you have a huge 5,000 square foot house and you like to keep it 70 degrees and you have all these extra appliances running or pool systems running, of course, it's gonna be higher than that. But this is really just to give you an overall average. Cost of living is constantly fluctuating, and I will break down other things such as transportation, food, groceries, stuff like that in another video. So be on the lookout for that. But that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.